I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about, will my ex's rebound fail?
Yes, it will.
Oh man, what a relief. All right, that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth. Yeah, we know what it feels like when your ex is dating somebody new. I've had that happen to me.
Yeah.
And it is horrible.
It really is.
It is horrible to think that they would rather be with somebody new than to be with you. It is just like so painful to the ego that you just, it's bad enough for somebody to break up with you, but then to want to date somebody new, whether it's right away or even, a couple months away, it's still very painful. And, when you're feeling connected to that person, and even if you're broken up, it still feels like you've been betrayed.
Yeah.
And like, you're choosing this new person over me.
Yeah.
Especially if you look at that person and you're like, look at this person. They can't keep a job. They're homeless. They're a crackhead.
Yeah, comparison really is the killer. It really is.
And you would be surprised how many people say he's a drug addict. He's only using her for sex. He doesn't really care about her.
Yeah.
And it's like such an awful feeling. I had somebody recently in one of my calls like this past week that had something like that.
Yeah.
And so now you become obsessed with comparing yourself to this new person and their relationship, and you just feel like that's it. You're never going to have a chance with them again because the bond that they have with this new person will somehow be stronger than the one you had with them.
Yeah.
And that'll be it forever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You really wonder, is my ex happier with that person than they were with me? And then you're also wondering if it will last. You're thinking, have they taken away any chance that me and my ex can return together? And this is a normal fear that most people have when they see their ex with somebody new. I mean, of course it is. You just think that they're going to run off into the sunset, like Margaret says, and just never see them again.
Because when initially that's how they look.
Right, right.
They look so happy and they're telling everybody how happy they are. And it's like, oh God, how?
Yeah. But you have to remember that one of the reasons why they've entered this relationship is likely to distract themselves from the grief of the breakup. And this happens often. I know you as the dumpee can often feel like, oh, I'm so torn and my ex is over here happy. How are they not torn about this relationship ending? And that's exactly it. They're distracted to the point where they can't experience that grief and those feelings. But even the dumper goes through that process of grief. Yeah. And many times throughout the relationship, the dumper will have these feelings of not wanting to continue the relationship even while in it for a while before they actually make the breakup. But that breakup, there's something official about it that still brings across a loss. And really, they start experiencing the consequences after they've officially broken up with you.
Yeah. They're struggling, and a lot of times they're comparing you to this new person secretly. Yeah. And they're looking at this new person thinking, well, they're not like my ex. They don't treat me like this, or you know what I mean? And, obviously many of you are beating yourself up about all your mistakes. So you're thinking, oh, they're only looking at the good or the bad things that I did. Yeah. No, they're thinking about the good things and those good connections and emotional connections that you had with them. But a lot of times they're using this new person as a distraction. It's so true. And that, your ex isn't going to stay in a new long-term relationship because they're not really ready for it. And that their emotional state is all over the place. Oftentimes they're very cold with you and they only present to being cold and done, right? but that's not how they feel 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you treated them good in a lot of ways and they have a lot of nice memories with you, you know, there are going to be plenty of times where they're thinking about you at night, when they're trying to fall asleep, or looking at your social media and wondering what you're doing, or maybe they're having problems with this new person, and all of a sudden they start to think about you. And so they're going to go through a lot of different emotions and feelings, and it's going to come up in their unconscious to the point where they can't ignore it. There will be times where they can't ignore it.
Yeah. Also consider where they met this rebound. Did they meet on a dating app? Did they meet at a bar? You have to remember that these people are still strangers to each other in these scenarios. And meeting somebody soon after a breakup generally isn't a strong foundation for a healthy relationship. Are they truly emotionally available to have another relationship? That's something that they have to consider for themselves. And usually after a breakup, people are still not even processing the grief of the breakup. So how can they have that emotional availability for somebody else?
And there's no guarantee that the new person that they're dating has any emotional availability too.
Exactly.
They might be hung up on an ex.
Exactly. And even if they've known this ex prior to the relationship that you've had, a lot about the rebound relationship is about mystery and is about fantasy.
And the excitement of all those unmet needs and projecting. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know if you all have ever done one of those optical illusions where you see a bunch of dots and then you kind of move your eyes around and you see dots where there's not supposed to be any. It's kind of like your
yes, I know
mind.
What you're
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So this is how it works also with the mystery and the fantasy of relationships. Our brains don't like empty space, so our brains make up for that space by creating something there. So they have no idea what this relationship could look like with this new person. They don't know the realities of it. It's very difficult to imagine what kind of struggles you might have. And many times they might have left your relationship because it got challenging and they expected everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
So the same thing is happening in our brains as this optical illusion. They're filling in the blanks with how amazing this relationship could be, but is it reality? And at what point will they face the reality of what a relationship will be?
Yeah. And more often than not, there's no real substance for them to build upon. Does it happen? Of course. We can't say that it never happens. Right. That would be ridiculous. Yeah. Sometimes people do wind up being with somebody and staying with them. But most of the time, it doesn't last very long. And, you know, a lot of times they've been unhappy in the relationship. They didn't tell you, or maybe they did, and you guys couldn't fix it for whatever reason. So they lined somebody up in the background.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe your ex was scared or is scared to be alone. So they have this fantasy about who this new person is, and they jump right into this new thing. And a lot of times it's almost at the same level of closeness that you were at with them, because they haven't really done the right thing of healed, processed, grieved, thought about things, really done the right way of moving forward. They just jump right in like there's an empty chair and they want somebody to fill the chair.
Exactly. And you have to think about this as a trait within a partner. So is this a type of trait that would complement a healthy relationship? And this trait doesn't lead to good interdependence in a relationship, meaning where you can have your own independence and also be able to depend on your partner as well and have that good, healthy balance. Normally, if somebody has trouble with being alone, they tend to depend a lot on their partner to fulfill their emotional needs, to even find value in themselves. We recently had a call with a girl from Transylvania where the whole idea of relationship contingent self-esteem, which is a mouthful, but we had another video about this, and she really connected with this experience of all of her value is connected with her relationships.
Yeah.
So think about how that relationship is going to go ultimately. You want to be with somebody who has this ability to have this interdependence, and it definitely is a skill that you can work on. So if you find yourself, you know, being that person that you can't be alone, this is something that can improve.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be with people because you're scared to be alone.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be with somebody because they enhance your life and they are there for you and you can have experiences with them. And, you know, if you're noticing that your partner is just jumping into relationship to relationship, that's not healthy and you really want to consider that.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of different things that are likely to cause your ex's new relationship to fail.
Right.
Them being ready for something new, what this new person's ability to sustain a relationship is, how healthy are they, who knows what they're really looking for, who knows if they're really going to bond or attach. Sure, in the beginning it's exciting and it's lustful and it's, you know, of all these chemicals released and you just feel like this new person is amazing. But as you can see, that it's common for dating not to last more than a few months when you meet new people, right?
Right.
Maybe they're not that interested in you. Maybe you lose interest in them. Maybe they come on too strong. Maybe they're too avoidant. There's a lot of different reasons why a relationship won't last.
Right.
Most relationships don't last very long. And so your ex is just coming out of likely a long-term commitment with you and is probably emotionally unstable and confused and scared, and so they may kind of be using this new person as a crutch, and ultimately that's not going to lead to something meaningful and long lasting.
Right.
So don't stress too much about if your ex is dating new people, truly.
Yeah, this is why we're telling you this, really, to reduce your anxiety about it.
Yeah.
Because we cannot indefinitely say that it's never going to work with your ex's rebound. Of course, like Craig said, there are cases where it does work. However, we do want to give your comparisons a reality check. You're not comparing yourself to some Fabio on a white knight that's going to take your ex away forever. We just want to put some more context to the situation and give you a dose of reality of what that relationship might even look like.
Yeah. It's important to really commit to yourself and the personal growth, regardless of what your ex is doing. Even if it looks like they're going to get married and run off into the sunset, I have seen that with my own experiences, and I see it in the coaching calls all the time. So I know truly at this point from coaching for years that just because it looks amazing and wonderful in the beginning does not mean they're going to stay together forever. It doesn't mean it. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. The likelihood of that is very, very small. Even if they wind up with that person for a year.
Yeah.
That's not forever. Doesn't mean your ex won't think about you a year later. And we're not telling you to put your life on hold, but we just got to get you to see that there's a very good probability your ex's rebound will fail.
Yep, and this actually happened to me personally. I had an ex who dated somebody else after we dated, and then their relationship was actually longer than ours. And after that, we ended up running into each other at a Walgreens as I was on my way to get my passport photo to leave the country.
To go be with your new boyfriend.
Yeah, how crazy was that?
Yeah.
Yep, so we ended up meeting up, and then he had told me basically that part of the reason he broke up with that other girl was because he had hopes for us getting together one day.
Wow.
So this just goes to show you that you can truly stay on an ex's mind for a long time.
Yeah.
And we had other videos where we talk about this post-breakup ambivalence, these mixed feelings about the breakup after it happens. And these feelings last for a long time.
Yeah, they really do.
I know you guys are scrutinizing every minute and what your ex is doing and who they're with and if they're going to leave you for that person. But truly, just put everything into context.
Most relationships do fail.
Right.
Even if you love somebody, it's hard to maintain it. It takes work, it takes energy, it takes commitment, it takes skills, it takes mental health. There's a lot of different things, and it takes both people to be able to do that. And that's why you want to improve on who you are and stay laser focused on bettering yourself in this time, because either they're going to come back and you're going to get another opportunity or you're going to meet other people and you want to blow them away. Right? You don't want to have competition with whoever you're trying to date. You want to blow away the competition.
Exactly.
And the more work you do, the more likely you're going to do that. So hopefully you feel a little bit better. Let us know in the comments section. And give us a like if you like this video, because we do look at that. And of course, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching, and Coach Victoria will continue to train with us.
I'll be here.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to AskCraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.